Yalla Chaverim, let's go. Ay, da 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 Okay, like a thousand Hagdamas today, because it's really the, I guess, first day that many people feel free. So it's a new day in the world. First of all, our children should have more atzlacha than we could ever imagine for them. More. Come leave home with smiles, come home with smiles, and it should be a kirvas Hashem every moment that we trust. That we trust others to teach them that there should be a big siyat dishmaya over there. That's first of all. Also, mazel tov, big mazel tov. My brother had a baby girl. My brother had his 8th child this week. Chas Hashem. He had a baby girl, naming her the Shabbos, a big simcha. Just say the announcements for the month, and then a few more things. So, this is Still for Elul, yeah. Our brother Michal in Pomona is sponsoring this month. Josh and Marilyn Adler, in memory of Marilyn's mother, Shifra Tzivia, Bas Avim Yaakov Cohen, Esther Henche, and Mr. Adler, Heilige Jimmy, Josh's Abba, Yitzchak Ben Tzvi Zichron Livracha, and Mindy Barad in honor of the birth of twin grandsons. 3 refuah shleima to Tinok Ben Chana, ×2. Tinokot Ben Chana, I guess. All right, so Sunday morning, Be'ez Hashem, the newsman of Kehila learning. This morning we spoke about the Kola learning. This Sunday morning we're going back to the regular chaburas, both for men and women. Sunday I'll be Sunday morning learning Geula, Rev Reuven Sasson, continuing learning with what we did last year. With the women, encourage your wives. There's an amazing, dedicated, committed chevra that we've been learning with for years already. It's getting stronger and deeper. That's Sunday mornings. Monday mornings, we're going back to the PSS Rebbe, but not this Monday morning, because Monday morning this week is Chai Elul. We're going to do a special Chai Elul session. And if you don't know what Chai Elul is, you should be ashamed of yourself. But even if you do know what Chai Elul is, you should still come and be ashamed of yourself for other things. It's Elul. It feels good, that thing. That's Monday morning. We're going to be doing Chai Elul. What's that?
Does it include music?
I don't know. You have to come and see. Food? I don't know. You have to come and see. Monday Elul, Chai Elul, very important. Tuesday morning, every morning, 9 o'clock. Every morning right after davening. Tuesday morning, Shoshana is going back with his shiurim. I think this year she's doing tefillah on Tuesday mornings for women instead of parsha. Wednesday, for this man, we're going to be learning Reb Asher Weiss's Torah's An Yamim Noraim from the Minchas Asher. Special sefer. We've learned pieces over the years, but really like an arrow. The mamash dvarim, very sharp and clear Torahs to get us properly, as much as we can, ready for Yantiv. Thursday morning, we're back with the women. We're doing with them Rav Kluger An Yamim Noraim. So just encourage. Let's start it off strong. Should be a lot of siyat dishmaya and continue the beautiful Kol Torah that is already Baruch Hashem emanating from the shul, and it should be a schus for all of us and our families, and for all of Efrat and all of Am Yisrael Be'ezer Hashem. Yeah.
Will we continue learning in the evening with the
You'll see. That's already shul stuff. We're going to announce it on Shabbos. We're going to explain everything like that. It's been a beautiful first week with the Chevra. Mamash, beautiful first week. But I want to go back and focus on our Friday morning Chabura, which I missed so much over the summer, but I was so happy we got back to it last week. And in order to give us that zetz of coming back to it, I had to print out a letter that I got this week. And I want to read you this letter from last week's learning. For the Chevra that are new to the Chabura, or even the Chevra that have been around, you all know that what we've been emphasizing, and this is like a very much practical eitzah in chinuch, like a very important eitzah in chinuch, is so much of our children's Yiddishkeit depends on the nigunim and the zmiras at the Shabbos table. We've been speaking about this for a long time already. He started speaking about, this is the longest perek in this sefer. He started speaking about this. We've been learning this for months already. And it's very, very, very special how he approaches it. But you never ever know who's learning with you, especially in today's day and age. You never know who needs to hear what and when. Listen to this. I'm not going to tell you where, maybe one of you knows this person. I'm not going to say where this came from. I'll try to just be as clear as possible. Rav Shlomo Shavua Tov. I had to share this with you. On Friday morning, I opened up Facebook on my phone and right away saw your shir via Facebook Live. I started to listen as I was doing some things. When you started talking about the power and beauty of Shabbat Zmirot, I went right to thinking how that's something I've not brought enough into my family and was feeling heavy about it. Despite singing a lot of Zmirot in my pre-married years at other people's tables, I never really brought it into my family's experience in a strong way. I sing nigunim here and there for sure, but not Zmirot in a kavua kind of way. I was thinking, maybe it's too late to even start. That's about half of the conversations I've had with you guys. Maybe it's too late to even start. Our kids are almost 17, whatever, I'm not going to say the older ages. Especially with my oldest, I lost my chance, I thought. But Friday night meal came, and I said to myself, I'm going to try. I was sitting on the couch next to my oldest son, and with a bencher in my hand, started singing a zemer. He right away joined me and totally knew the tune and many of the words by heart. I asked him how he knew them, and he said from going to other people's homes for Shabbos. He even said to me, we're the only family that doesn't sing Zmirot. Ouch. But we sang the rest of that song, and then another, and another, and another. Same thing Shabbat day. I was in heaven. I always thought my oldest son wasn't into singing, and that's why I didn't try so much. And yet he was totally there with me. He was totally there with it and with me. It was so awesome. B'ezrat Hashem, this will be a new chapter in my/our experience at the Shabbat table with Zmirot, and I have you and your chevra to thank for it. So thanks to all of you from the bottom of my heart. Thank God I opened up Facebook Friday morning.
Beautiful.
But there's a million reasons, like yesterday with the chevra in the Machon, we learned a letter from Rav Kook for 2.5 hours. We could learn this letter. Like literally, this is possible to learn this letter. It has so many dimensions and it has so many different things that so many people here have this. These are things that we have. The too late, the don't know, never did it enough, I was much stronger before. It just shows the power of the tzaddikim. This is not our words, it's not my words. We're learning what the tzaddikim are saying. When you learn that, you just mavati yourself to the tzaddikim's words. This is what it is. So yes, even if the minhag in your house growing up was not to sing that many zmiros, maybe this door needs something else. And I do think that this door does need, that the children need to have a passionate experience at the Shabbos table. Quite often, passion comes about through music. Quite often, kimat all the time. So I just encourage everyone to certain things we learn, certain ideas, we daven over it. What does it exactly mean? Here it's very pashut. It's not that complicated. It's to make sure to incorporate this nikuda at our children's Shabbos experience. Everyone's make sure to make sure that this is something that we makabel on ourselves. And if we haven't yet, so it's Elul. It's always we have this Ezer Mishamayim that when we take on things in Elul, they go in deeper and they last longer. If you can open up your sefer, if you have it to Kuf Chaf Hey. Are there any more over there in the Aron, Sasha? There's always a few in there, more on the bottom shelf. Now, Baruch Hashem, we've already done 3 orders of this sefer. So whoever wants to get it, we're going to continue this for at least another 3 months. Whoever wants us to purchase this sefer for them, we'll get it from the breast. It's mainly from the breast of bookstore Mea Sharim, gladly. Daf Kuf Chav Hey on the bottom left column, and the left column in the middle. This is a beautiful concept in the world of music and the world and the niggun of our neshama. Look what he says here. This is the Teres from Rabbi Yaakov Meir Shechter, one of the oldest and greatest leaders of the Breslov community in Yerushalayim. He looks like he's 65 and he's like mid-90s. He's a Pele Me'en Kamo. We've been by him. We're going to, Be'ez Hashem, go to him. All the chevra here, when we do the siyum on the sefer, we're going to go and just stand before him and say thank you, maybe sing a niggun for him and hear from him what he wants to share with us, like he's done in the past with us. It's very, very special. So this is the words that he says here. V'yadua ma'amaro shel Rabbeinu HaKadosh b'Torah Azamra. It's very well known, the Maimer of Rabbi Nachman in the teaching of Azamra. That's 282, the Torah of the Nekudot Tovot, the Torah of focusing on people's good points and only looking at that when you look at them. And what happens to them? When you look at someone with only good things, they become what you see. I just gave you the whole Torah in 5 seconds, but it's infinitely deeper than what I just said. Vehu echad miyesodotav shel Rabbeinu. Azamra is one of the foundation principles of Rabbi Nachman. Kshabal davar mitlabesh al adam umerachko ma'Hashem yitbarach. When what we call brother other side comes on to us and causes us to feel distance from Hashem, eino meniach lo lilmodu litpalel. You ever have those times? I'm not, it's like the other side is taking over me and does not allow me, doesn't enable me to daven or to learn. Even if I want, I try. With kilo zero, lo notnim li. It's a sincere feel, not the cop-out feel. Like really, I'm actually trying, and I feel like it's taken over me. Ela what? Not only that, mesayeh beyado lehamshich behitrachkuto. That the other side comes and actually only helps me get further and further and further away. Azai ha'etzahi sheyaskir le'atzmo davar tov she'asa. You have to remind yourself a good thing you've done. It's amazing. Rabbi Nachman says this was the teaching he told his Chassidim you have to walk with every single day. Because every single day we have to remind ourselves a good point within ourselves that we've done. Because the other side, like Rav Arush once said, that today's greatest avodah zarah is the Torah of self-persecution, which is we're masters in that. So therefore, Azamra is that much more applicable because I must remind myself in nekudat tova that I've done in my life in order so that I can bring myself back to the table. Kegon shu Yehudi tov, I'm a good Jew. Ben Avram, Yitzchak, v'Yakov. Shekvar zacha la'amod ei pam b'nisayon. And I also have to remind myself, I've been through tests before. Like I remember, I felt like, we traveled the whole family to Canada over the summer. We never did, all of us, together, with each other, all day, for 24 days, right? Baruch Hashem. And what I'm doing now, is that what I'm seeing now is that the avodah isn't just saying thank you, Hashem. The avodah is actually basically like saying, Shlomo, you guys can do anything now. You guys can, you take koach from it, and you have to remind yourself, you can do anything now. You can do anything now. It's a real important piece of the experience. To remind yourself that anything that's not nisayon like I almost did an avera, but a nisayon kidu, this is going to be challenging. It'll be beautiful, but it'll be challenging. And to gain strength, to remind yourself, I've been there. I've done that. Al achas kama v'chama, if you're about to do a big nasty avera, like one of the real bad ones, and you didn't, you better remind yourself of that every single day that you didn't. Not because you're a tzaddik, but to remind yourself that you have the koach, you have a nekuda tova, to help you get up from anything else that may pull you into the dumps. And Chaver, this is like, there's no chidush in what I'm saying to you right now, but it's just an important reminder that we have to be in, that we have to do this all the time.
Because you're better and bigger than the big bad wolf that we spoke about.
But we forget that all the time. We forget it all the time. Okay, finishing this paragraph. וגם שכבר זכה לעמוד אי פעם בניסיון וכבר קיים מצווה זו או אחרת, you've done a mitzvah before. ובעמקי לבבו הוא בכל זאת יהודי החפץ לקרבו יזבח. And deep down inside, I'm searching deep down inside of me, and I see, inside, this is the real me, wants to learn, wants to daven. It's not happening, but that's actually what I really want. That defines the real me. Now, in the continuation of that Torah of Azamra begins off with nekudot tovot, like this kind of talk, but then it goes right into the world of music, the world of nigunim. So he's going to give it to us in a nutshell over here as well. Umevar sham Rabbeinu, and Rabbi Nachman continues in Torah Reish Pei Beis to say, she'inyan zeu bechinas niggun. This is what a niggun is all about. How? Ki nigun notzar rak beshiluv im atzvut. This is so, for musicians in the room, you're going to feel this so strong. How is a niggun created? How is a niggun composed? A niggun is composed with also the element of what we would call sad moments, or what we would call a yerida. How? Ki nigun she'en me'orav bo yeridot ve'aliyot en bekocho l'sameach. I'll give you an example. This is going to be fun. I'm going to sing for you the worst niggun in the world right now. Okay? Right? You see where we're going with that, right? What a don't tell me right now, shlo's the high. Like, it's not. No, we didn't get to the second part. We see what he's saying. What's a niggun? Gotta go down and up and back down. Down, 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 up and down and down. A niggun is made up of moments of going up, moments of going down. But if I get stuck on just focusing on like this, da, da, oh boy, I'm going down. No, you're creating the next note. The next note is about to go up again. We're saying the Olam HaNegina, it's not stam like that. The Olam HaNegina is made up of aliyot ve'yeridot. That's a story of our lives. This is what a niggun is. Again, back inside. Ki nigun notzar rak b'shiluv im atzvut. Atzvut here, he's basically saying both the pain, the sadness that person feels. Listen, you think David HaMelech was smiling throughout Tehillim? Probably not. Sometimes, yeah, but probably not. Ki nigun she'en mo'orav bo yeridot ve'aliyot en bekocho lesameach. Because a niggun that doesn't have the ups and the downs can't bring us joy. It can't mesameach us. כשאצל האדם מעורבת השמחה יחד עם העצבות. This is so deep. But when by a person, simcha and atzvus are both coming together, what ends up happening? אזי נכנסת העצבות בתוך השמחה. ומוציאה משם נקודה של שמחה. Then the atzvus goes into the simcha, and then it brings out of it, it extracts from it only simcha. Pain bringing out joy. Me'az yatsa matok. Like the Zohar HaKadosh always speaks about our job in this world, lehapech merira lemesika, to transform bitterness into light, into sweetness, and lehapech chashucha lenahara, and to transform darkness into light. Vechozer chalilam, keeps on coming back, ad shekol ha'atzvut nefechet lesimcha. Ubetorah zamra, Rabbi Nachman mechanesot Rabbi Nachman b'shem nigun. Rabbi Nachman says, that avodah we just described is a niggun. But it's not just something that theoretically makes sense. I just showed you it on a guitar. Like, that's actually the formation of what a niggun is supposed to be like. The koach of a niggun. Why do people find themselves in music? Because it's describing what they go through on a daily basis. On a daily basis. Each and every one of us in their own places, what we're going through on a daily basis. Continue. ורבינו מגלה כי נגינה נמשכת במקום גבוה מאוד. And Rabbi Nachman says, music comes from such a high place. מאותו המקום שמשם נמשכת הנבואה לקרובים הקדושים. שמשם יוצא כל הנבואה. Music comes from such a high place. Music comes from a place of prophecy, without getting too involved in the depths of it right now. כמו שכתוב, וישמע את הקול מדבר אליו מבין שני הקרובים. Moshe Rabbeinu heard the voice speaking to him from between the two kruvim. כי נבואה ונגינה קשורה ואחודים יחדיו בקשר גבוה ונעלה מאוד. Because prophecy and negina are connected very much in a very high place. This week, I always share with you like some of the most just, random things that happened this week. Just I remembered it because it's kasher to this shir. This week, I did an interview for one of these atarim, one of these Israeli websites, one of these Israeli, the Alon, I think it's an Alon Shabbat, one of these magazines that, Hashem, we don't really have here, because they end up being the sitter in many shuls. You know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. So in one of them, there was one of the questions they asked me was, what's the difference between a niggun and between nigun ve muzika? What's the difference between a niggun and music? So I realized that it's a very personal feeling. It's not a klal. I can't make a statement on this. This is what it is. I could only bless you. I could only share, a little bit of what it feels like for me. So I said like this: a niggun can break your heart in the best way, and music can break your heart in the worst way. Now, do you understand based on what we just said right now? Rav Shlomo has this powerful statement. He says like this: how is it the Beis HaMikdash got destroyed? How could it be, if we lived in such a time with a Gilui Elokut, with godly revelation, how could it be the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed? Ech ze yachol liyot? How could it be? So he says, it stopped breaking our hearts. The existence of it stopped breaking our heart. At what point do parents lose their children? When children stop breaking their parents' heart. Not Hollywood/music heartbreak, Olam HaNegina heartbreak. You understand what I'm saying? It's a deep sugya. We've spoken about this a lot over the years. So these things, the most essential things that our Yiddishkeit depend on, are the things not just that make us feel great. It's the things that first break our hearts to finally crack it open. So that there's something to put inside it, like the Kotzker Rebbe's famous word, of why it doesn't say Vayu advarim ha'ela asher anochi mitzavcha hayom. No? What should have been the word? Bilvavecha. Right? The famous Torah from the Kotzker. Because it's waiting. Why I should place these words in your heart? No. God gives us everything al levavi. But there's one thing I have to do in this world. And I have to crack my heart open. Once I do that, everything else sprinkles in. All the Torah that God placed everything. It's all there. It's on me. Be'etzem, this is the avodah of the shofar as well. What is the shofar? What is it called? The sounds of the shofar. What's a trua? What's a shvarim? This is obviously the same exact avodah. What the tzaddik is saying here is that at the Shabbos table this happens as well. Right? Basically, he's going deeper today into the world of negina bichlal, like we saw. But at the Shabbos table, these moments, even for Shabbos, to sink in. Like we always think, make sure they're at shul. Of course they should be. And make sure the davening is good at shul, for sure. And make sure they know how to act at shul, for sure. And make sure that they have a Dvar Torah at the table, for sure. And make sure you have a Dvar Torah at the table, for sure. But you don't know if that's what's going to crack open their heart to receive all of that. What do we know is most probably, what probably does that more than any other things? Nigunim dikdusha, specifically, as we saw last week, he quoted the Yismach, quoting Rabbi Eliezer Askari and the Yismach Moshe, who has a Kabbalah that the Zmiros were written al pi Ruach HaKodesh. Like these words were written al pi Ruach HaKodesh. So anyway, it's a wonderful opportunity right now to figure out, like, yalla, to just to start it, just to start again, and to be makpid on this, as if like this is really one of the ekronot of how I'm going to be approaching, because we never ever know what is going to sink into our child's heart. But we know for sure that music has a very, very big chance. Maybe they don't feel vulnerable enough in a huge setting like shul to experience that. But hopefully they feel safe enough at the experience and the energy of their own Shabbos table to connect in that place. And we should do that with a tremendous amount of simcha and ahava yisera. And we should also have the wisdom to choose what niggun. That's a whole nother sugya that we're not even getting into today. Hopefully we'll get into it later on. Have a wonderful Shabbos Kodesh, everyone. Whoever wants copies, let me know, okay?
We're too far, we're in Montreal.
Oh, yeah.